Greetings, and welcome to you. This is going to be a medicine card reading for Scorpio. It's been a really long time since I've done a reading for Scorpio, and I believe it's time for you. So, I'm not gonna lie. When I was tuning into your energy, I felt so much anger, so much irritation. So let's figure out if we can get you feeling better, shall we? So we're going to go ahead and pull 3 cards. The first card is going to be what the physical work is that needs to be done. The second card is going to be the inner work, and the third card is going to be the spiritual work. I do not require cards. I simply like to use them for navigation, to know where to begin when there's so much information that wants to be expressed. These are just collective readings. It's not expected to resonate with everybody. It simply resonates with the collective, and I read the loudest collective storyline. So if you're not one of those people who this is your story, then that just means that this is not for you at this time. All right, Scorpio. Okay, so you have been frustrated and angry, socially frustrated, sexually frustrated. You feel deprived. You feel like you haven't had a relationship in a really long time. You feel like it's been 6, 7, 8 years since the last time that you were in a relationship, especially if you're a male. If you're a female, it's been like 4 years and nothing has lasted. And you have to understand that everything happens for a reason. And I know that that's not what you want to hear, but everything happens for a reason. Go back and think about all the people that you used to be with 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. Can you imagine if you were still with them? Can you imagine if you were still with those people? It only hurts now. It only hurts now. It's not going to hurt when you find that one person that you feel comfortable with, that you just connect with, that you don't even have to speak to. You know, it's like that's the connection you have. Like all this suffering is not for nothing. All this abstinence is not for nothing. It's for something. You think that you had a passionate relationship in the past. No, I'm sorry. That was lust. That was lust infused. And lust is limiting. Lust is like a firecracker that when you light it, it pops really loud, or it makes an explosion, or it shows a couple lights, but you can't use it again. That's what lust is. Lust is just a firecracker. It just goes off once and that's it. You know, it dies down. It is not lasting. Lust is not lasting when there's a superficial reason behind your desire. If it's just physical attraction, are you just physically attracted to that person, or are you attracted to their soul? When you're attracted to their spirit, when you're attracted to their soul, it is not lust anymore. It is a genuine interest, and that's what you want, right? So all of the relationships that you've had in your past are lust and or based on trauma bonding, where you thought you were in love, you thought you were going to marry this person, you thought you were going to have kids, and it was just a trauma bond. It was just a trauma bond. I remember the first time I heard that, it hurt. It hurt. So I know that, oh man, the very first time that I had learned about trauma bonding and realizing that, in my past love life, I was in a trauma bond situation that really hurt. But it's kind of those things that you just have to pull off with a band aid. You just got to pull it off with a band aid and listen to those feelings, when you're in a relationship with someone or you're dating and you have these feelings where you just feel like there's a limit to the relationship, like there's a limit. And we have to be honest with ourselves, because sometimes those limits are not because of the other person. You can't just blame the other person. You have to take responsibility for, is it you that brings limits to a relationship dynamic? Is it you that makes your partner cut off all their friendships and you start getting all controlling and possessive, and then you're holding back your partner or your person from following their dream? And that's the problem with codependency. That's the problem with relationships, is people get in each other's way and they want to control the other person, and you don't know what ambitions or dreams that other person has that there is to consider. You want a relationship where both of you have the freedom to follow your passions without there being this sense of control or manipulation. So you're having a little bit of a hard time organizing your emotions and your intentions in your life and your directions, and you're just kind of lost right now. Physical work for Scorpio, needing to protect yourself. We have 8 directions of the wind. So this is not the time for you to be listening to the omens of the north and the south and the east and the west. This is not one of those times. You actually need to protect yourself from all of the energies that are coming from all 8 directions, because the energy that is coming from all 8 directions is negative right now. Since the Super Bowl, and probably a couple days before that, but for the most part, from the Super Bowl, from the last full moon to the next full moon, there's been more than usual curses being thrown at humanity. Okay? And there's no blessings at this time that are coming from 8 directions. This is more of a time for you to protect yourself. Protect yourself from environmental toxicity. Protect yourself from cursive energy. I don't recommend going out at night if you're a Scorpio. I just don't, okay? There's people that think that the nighttime is the best time, and that's fine and all, but when you get this card, it's about putting yourself first when it comes to protection and shielding. And then we have air. What in your life needs to be upgraded, refreshed? It could also be, what do you need to say to someone? There's someone that you might need to say something to. Something that needs to be communicated that you haven't communicated. Something that you have to kind of speak on and kind of defend yourself. There's something where you might have been silenced in a certain matter where you need to speak up. What about the inner work? What about the inner work for Scorpio during this time? Regaining your hope. You're feeling really hopeless right now. For those of you who are empathic, you feel severely depressed because you feel the pain of the earth. You feel the attack on the earth. You feel things that you can't explain, and you feel like you're going crazy. And no, you're not. You're not going crazy. We are in a very negative time. It's no secret. And then we have spiritual work. Sorry, I keep shaking the camera. Spiritual work that needs to be done. You're having a hard time speaking, expressing yourself. You can't even speak clearly. You've become like tongue-tied. You might have someone of interest that is trying to put witchcraft on you. If you're a male, especially. If you're a male, I feel that you have someone that might be like putting something on you so that nobody else takes you from them, or just there's like blockage in your communication. There's like this energetic block on your mouth. Or also just side people that are not wanting you to communicate with somebody, or a friend that's just blocking a certain interaction because there's potential somewhere in your life. There's potential, and there's like a block on it that you need to remove. You're not going to solve anything by being in a hopeless state of mind. My dears, you're going to have to figure out how to get yourself out. A lot of you feel like, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? You're just in this hopeless victim mindset, and you're just going to have to get yourself, dust yourself off and get yourself back up. I don't know if I'm going to take that because that's way too many. Being proud of how far you've come. Needing to go camping. Needing to go traveling. Staying away from drama. I guess I'll go ahead and take them. That's how they look. So you're not giving yourself enough credit for how far you've come. Do you see all these buffalo over here? They all represent an accomplishment. You're not giving yourself enough credit. It's like some of you want to get into psychedelics because you feel like you're lacking visuals, and you don't need psychedelics to get a vision. You can simply meditate and focus on your breathing to get a meditation visual. You don't need to take psychedelics. That's not going to help. So I'm sorry to say, but you are in your own way right now. This is a time where you need to take care of yourself and protecting yourself and thinking about yourself, okay? I do see that some of you are needing, like, a family is relying on you, but I feel like most of you will be okay to just walk away from the family to do some studying abroad or just to do something different. I feel like your mental health is going to get worse if you don't do something different. Like people who don't travel or move. I don't understand those kind of people. I'm one of those people that travel and move all the time. and I find so much satisfaction in not staying in the same place all the time. And for most of you, I feel like you'll be okay if you left your family for a while. I know it's going to be more difficult for those of you who are actually responsible for your own children. Sorry, I feel like I keep shaking the camera. Um, I'm concerned for you because if you continue going how things are going, you're going to get into self destructive habits. You're going to get back into self destructive behavior. You're going to go back to your identity is in danger. Where, I don't know if, like, Scorpios, you guys are the ones that do this the most. Have you ever seen someone get into self destructive behavior and they just take on a whole new identity and they adopt that self destructive habit or that substance, and they just take on a whole completely different identity? And I witnessed that. I witnessed that with my ex-husband, my first husband. And it was really scary. It was really scary to see someone just take on a substance and completely just their whole personality changed, their whole identity changed. They were a completely different person, unrecognizable. And I feel like you're kind of in danger of doing that. And I don't want you to go that way. We got to kind of, take the right path here now. You are in danger of losing your genuine intentions, of losing your higher vibrational identity or personality or character, and giving it all up to go be something that you're not. And you've already been thinking about it. You've already been scheming. You're just like, you know what? I'm just going to give up. I'm going to go back to doing what I used to do, or I'm going to go back to doing this or that and just doing this and that. Like, jack of all trades. And I really hope that you don't go that way. I want you to steer your wheel in a different direction. You do not have to go down like that. I want you to choose what is going to serve your highest good, what you meant to do. And it seems like you are in your own way, because whatever you're insecure about, whatever you think is impossible, is not. You just think that. It's almost like someone told you something that wasn't true. Like, you originally wanted to go to school and travel in some other country and study abroad, something like that. And then someone told you, oh, no, you need a certain kind of residency, or you need a certain kind of traveling visa. I don't know, something along those lines. And you believed it. And it's not even true. Or someone told you, oh no, you can't go to that country because you didn't have the procedure. You can't go. And for some reason you believed it, and you scratched the whole project, everything that you had planned, everything that was ready to go, you scratched it all and settled for less. And if you were to just Google it or do the research yourself, you will see that whatever someone told you is not true at all. And you can travel to that country that you want to go to, or you can study in that place that you originally wanted to study abroad in. Do you know what I mean? So Don't you dare. Don't you dare. 2024 is not going to be one of them years that you're going to backtrack. You're not going to backtrack, Scorpio. The temptation is going to be so strong to go back to your old ways. But the thing is, you did that so many times that you're going to get bored of the repetition. Even if you wanted to, it's like you will be protected by boredom itself, because you're going to get bored. You're going to get bored and you're going to get angry, and things are going to get worse. So it's almost like you have no choice but to choose the most responsible path. You know what I mean? You have no choice here. The consequences for you to go back to your old ways is only going to hurt you. And you need to make sure that it's not just your ego that is doing this, because sometimes it's ego. Sometimes ego is like, you know what, let's just go back to our old ways and let's just go do everything that's tried and true. You know, that's ego, and you can't listen to that. You're like, no, I'm better than that now. I'm better than that. I already did all that. And it didn't work. I'm not going to repeat it. And we have a happy family here. Whoever this applies to, what can you do so that your family, the people that people depend on you, that you take care of, are in the happiest state possible? Because ultimately, this is what Scorpio wants. This right here is ultimately what Scorpio wants. Male or female. This is what Scorpios want. That's all they want. They want a happy family in the background, and then they want to create their own family and settle down. That's what you've been wanting to settle down for like 7 years, but you weren't ready. You weren't ready back then. You had too much hostility and addiction, toxic behavior, addictions to the underworld, things like that. And this is ultimately what should motivate you and inspire you to regain your hope and scrape yourself off the floor, because you've been kind of depressed. So let me tell you, if you really are serious about your depression, about making your depression go away, take supplements every single day. And I'm not talking about the cheap over-the-counter supplements. I'm talking about going to the vegan stores, the organic grocery stores, and getting top shelf supplements. A lot of people, they buy supplements from Walmart or Walgreens or wherever you buy your supplements from, and they're not real. They're generic. They're made in a laboratory. They're artificial. They're not real supplements. Your supplements should cost at least $30. If your supplements don't cost at least $30, they are probably not real supplements. I highly suggest vitamin B6, D3, and ashwagandha for Scorpios, because the depression, a lot of times people don't understand that the depression comes from a nutrient deficiency. it doesn't just go away. People go to a psychiatrist or a therapist to get prescribed crazy pills that are just as bad for you as regular street illegal drugs. And that just makes things worse because then now you're addicted to an alien substance. So really the only thing you have to do is take supplements. My God, that is simply the only solution to getting rid of your depression, and all of a sudden you're happy when you put supplements in your body because they're feeding us poison. They're feeding us nanotechnology, they're feeding us microplastics, and there's nothing nutritious about that. Acid cannot break down plastic. Isn't that a scary thought? So if there's microplastics in your body, you have to energetically get rid of them because your own natural acid in your stomach will not get rid of microplastics. So amp up on those supplements because depression does just not magically go away. Okay, let's read from the book. Exactly. Exactly, my dearest Scorpios. Protection, power, expansive thinking. Lapis lazuli is a highly spiritual crystal that helps cut through illusions and expands your thinking in ways that serve to empower you. Is it not time to let go of an outmoded way of thinking or a belief system which no longer serves you? Remember, you are eternally protected. There's nothing to fear, so just be yourself. You will soon find yourself thinking outside the square, and in doing so, you will begin to unlock your true and unique potential. Be a leader, not a follower. Dare to be different, and success is yours. You have the ability to mentally and emotionally rise above all you encounter in your life, and in doing so, a clear picture emerges. Okay. Let's do a color card for you. Oh, wait. Before a card, let's do a Wisdom of the Tao card for you. Oh, there is a reason for everything. Each life has many connections to previous lives. You came to balance karma with others. Allow grief, anger, and guilt to be transformed into a force to fortify, oh my God, I get stuck. Fortify you and assist you in fulfilling your purpose of this lifetime. This is a beautiful card of balancing karma, getting rid of resentment. Resentment is counterproductive. It truly serves no purpose to have any resentment whatsoever. When you get rid of that resentment, whether it is a past partner or a relative in the family, there's this lightness, this light. You feel light as a feather. You should feel as light as a feather when you have no resentment. Resentment is heavy and counterproductive. Why would you want to feel heavy? Last but not least, let's do a color card. What color should Scorpio incorporate more in their life? For your love question, Scorpio always has a love question, right? Scorpio, anyone is lucky to have a Scorpio. A Scorpio that is true to themselves and honest and has overcome the negative traits that Scorpio has a reputation of. Anyone is lucky to have you. So it's not so much, what does this person feel about me? Or what is this or what is that? It's beyond that. It's beyond that. It's about the fact that you want to have a family and settle down. So you're going to have that with whoever you feel that you're meant to have that with. You're paying too much attention to details instead of the bigger picture. Who cares how they feel now if how they feel later is going to be stronger for you? You know what I mean? Because a lot of you are worried about a certain person in particular and what they might be feeling for you now. What does that matter? They're going to feel so much more for you as you both get to know each other, as both of you prove your friendship and your loyalty and your commitment to each other. Let it grow. Stop worrying about. That's exactly why I don't do tarot, because there's this like desperation and sense of urgency and energy vampiring and spying that goes on. And when you do that, when you want to be so desperate about how somebody feels for you this very instant, you know what you do? Do you know what you're doing when you're so desperate to know how someone feels for you this very instant? You push them away. You push them away. But if you just allow the feelings to be felt and allow time to bring you together and to establish a friendship and to establish foundations, honey, this person is, their feelings are growing for you, and they're only going to grow for you the more that you choose the responsible path. Every single decision that we make ripple affects the entirety of life. And a lot of times people, will want to be in a relationship, and one of them will make really poor decisions, and those really poor decisions will push away the other person and ultimately separate them. So it really has to do with the bigger picture. You want to settle down and have a family with this person, then be responsible. Be responsible. And you will get there. You will get what you want, but you need to protect yourself for whatever reason. You have two energies mentioning protecting yourself from all directions, because every time we want to improve our life, every time we want to upgrade or even move to a higher vibrational area, we are going to face opposition. And you're just going to have to clear that. You're just going to have to cut the weeds. You're going to have to just cut everything in your way. And you have the capability to do so. For some reason, something in your life recently disempowered you, and you need to put that back on. Like, whatever you feel disempowered you, whether you fell off the horse, get back on. And get back the empowerment that you dropped on the floor like marbles, and pick them up one by one, because there's an opposing force that does not want to see you succeed. And that's why it's so important to keep going and push on through and humiliate that opposing force that makes you feel like you are getting nowhere. The color that Scorpio needs to use during this time is the beautiful violet consuming flame. Whenever you feel like there's a negativity around you, imagine a purple flame. Purple flame, like a violet consuming flame that has indigo, purple, a little bit of blue, a little bit of yellow, and it just burns the negativity, whether it's within you, because sometimes we have negativity that we just have to burn within us, that is a negative thought or a negative thought loop. Create a balanced life. That's exactly what I wanted to say, and I just couldn't say it. Creating a balanced life. That is what is more important. And I know, oh my gosh, I've told this to you so many times. You're so tired of hearing it. You're so tired of me saying this, and this goes before a relationship. Okay? But trust me, it does. It does. Creating a balanced life. You know, once you have all your ducks in a row, then you will be ready for the family that you want to begin with your certain person. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye.